Hello, and welcome to the Daily Deeper. My name is Marie Nelson, and I am one of the worship leaders at Deeper Church. And today we are going to be talking about the woman at the well. I was really inspired when we had our global watch party and we watched The Chosen. And the last episode of season 1 is the story of the woman at the well. And they, through research, the directors discovered that Jesus was having to kind of go out of his way to meet up with this woman. So he had a divine appointment in mind for her to single her out. He even goes far enough to send his disciples away to get food. Even though it was all about the journey, was being with the disciples, he knows that this is a special time and season of this woman's life. This is a special season and time for us too, where God's showing up. He's showing up and waiting for you. He's waiting next to the spot that you are needing something. You are desiring entertainment. You are desiring something to fill you. You find yourself maybe overeating or just, I don't know, looking at things that just aren't encouraging, watching shows that don't matter to you. And you find yourself just kind of like feeling parched, feeling a little empty, wanting to connect. Jesus is sitting right there at that spot of connection. And he watches this woman walk up and he asks her, "Will you give me a drink?" It's kind of like, hey, let's engage in a conversation. This woman, it says that it was about the 6th hour, and that's in verse 6. It's about the 6th hour. So it's actually in Jewish, how they would see time, in Jewish time for the day, the 6th hour meant like from the sun rising. So it was about noon. And so it was high heat in Israel. And she was choosing to go out there at that time. This woman was choosing to social distance. She wanted to be out there in a time where nobody else would be able to look upon her, to talk to her, to purposely avoid her, to give her judgmental looks. And so she chose social distancing. I think there's times in all of our lives that we kind of feel judged and we find ourselves social distancing. And then during this crazy season in America, we're being forced to social distance and we find ourselves longing to be connected to others. And Jesus is sitting at the well, longing to connect with you. Jesus wants to meet us in this season, to connect with us. And he shows up. Even though everybody else has to social distance, he's showing up to be close to you. The woman in verse 9 said to him, "You're a Jew and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink? For Jews do not associate with Samaritans." Are there people in your circle that you have stopped associating with? That maybe now's the time to start bridging the gap? They may be alone. Maybe it's a neighbor that you had a conflict with. Maybe it's some person in the family that even lives far away, but taking the time just to send them a message, to let them know you're thinking about them. And it will help draw them closer so that they can receive the filling of Jesus. Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God, and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water?" So she's talking about the physical world, and he's talking about the spiritual world. "Everyone who drinks of this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give him will become in him a spring of water welling up to eternal life." You know, there's some different passages in Isaiah. It talks about how Jesus hemmed in Israel and he wanted to draw her in to him. He created a boundary around her, Israel, so that Israel would look to him and look up, couldn't look around anywhere else and had to look up to him. Jesus has taken this time. God has allowed this season so we could look up. Look up to him. You don't have to be distracted by so many other things. Look up to God. He is right there. He has set time aside to meet with you. And he says his water, his filling will overflow into your heart. Jesus goes on and says in verse 23, "Yet a time is coming and has now come when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for they are the kind of worshipers the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship him in spirit and truth." I think worshiping the Lord to me in spirit means worshiping from this deep, deep part of my soul, and understanding that my spirit will live on forever in eternity, and that God is in control of the entire realm of the spiritual, and that he is, that is his kingdom come. And so when I enter into that spirit realm where he is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and of course he's King of Kings and Lord of Lords in the natural world as well, but it's only by faith in him that is true, that his impact can come into this earth. When I choose to have a heart towards Jesus, a heart of truth towards him, it says worshiping him in spirit and truth. That means that I need to tell God what's really going on. It's time for me to stop avoiding, to stop in just doing and filling my time, but to get real. To get real that these things are upsetting me, God. I'm upset about this. I was hoping for this. And being real about our hurts, telling him about our frustrations. He wants the truth. And he wants us to acknowledge the truth that he loves us and that he's over us and he is in us and wants to be all around us in every way possible if we will let him. He wants to fill us up. I encourage you today to visualize that woman at the well, walking up to the well, seeing Jesus, him being willing to give you a drink of water that will last forever, a filling that will last forever, his presence lasting forever in your life. Please take time today to be like the woman at the well and draw in deep the water of heaven, the heavenly water of Jesus and his presence in your life. I love you. I love to hear about what the Lord is doing in your life. Please comment below, and I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless you.